So let me take this just chance in the next sort of 10 minutes to give you an introduction for those that haven't come across it, and a reminder for those that did about the shape and nature of this method. As Jens said, it's a measurement system. It's a language, it's a framework, and it's an ethos. There's so many aspects to it, but the measurement system allows us to understand where behaviours are sitting within for an individual or within a team or an organisation. Where do they sit across this this graph that I'll share with you? And in measuring the behaviours, it allows us to reveal where those energy points are starting to form. Are they forming in a way that lifts people, or are they forming in a way that denies people the ability to engage and perform? And it also, because there's measurement, it keeps us on course. We can often, with best intentions, invent our own truths around what's going on there. But when the data is saying what it's saying, there's nowhere to hide. So there's nothing better than having measurements to keep you on course and keep you aware of the effect of the culture and the leadership and the team way is starting to form. And this visual is one that just illustrates the bit. Now, I won't go into huge amounts of detail, but just to give you a flavour that this way of measuring, which is Heartstyles' work, and we happily in Uplift Consulting use this as one of our favourite ways of supporting teams and leaders in their growth. It has a north-south point, and the two boxes that are blue and red are the ones where we are finding effective behaviours and effective energies and effective ways of thinking that engage others and allow us to find our best performance. But we have the danger zones of where life takes us ineffectively to defence responses of pride or fear. So that's kind of the above the line and below the line. The blue and red is above the line, and the green and orange are below the line. The east to west points on this compass are where the brain is placing focus. It may be paying focus to whether how we experience ourselves or how we think others see us. So that's really the framework. And when we see these things, things get revealed. You know, for example, if we start to see that the energy is informing in the blue quadrant, people are experiencing each other as highly authentic, that they show up, they are their true selves rather than to emulate someone else, as Jens shared. They are high growth mindset and they want to transform and learn, and they receive knowledge and want to absorb it into their psyche and way of being. They are committed, disciplined through reliability, and they have high standards for self. Achievement is about not being lured into the safety of mediocrity. It's about having ambition that is so energizing and generating and engaging and purpose and society as opposed to self-indulgent. All of those are things that will generate higher energy and performance and engagement. Also in that red box, which we want in equal balance to the blue, the red quadrant is around how do we create the environment where people feel safe to learn. You heard that from a number of colleagues from PSAT. They felt safe to speak up. And social science has said, if we show that we relate to them and that they matter, we see them for the person that they are, encouraging, we believe in them even when they don't. We share and borrow our courage to someone who maybe has lost it. We grow and coach them, development, and we show that we honour, with that word honour, their human experience, whatever's going on. We see the person behind the behaviour and we hold unconditional regard for them. Those suites of ways of behaving and being are energy generating. But we need to understand that it is normal to go to the green or orange quadrants depending on how life is affecting us. It may be that we go to the orange quadrant because we feel fear of how others will regard us. We feel we might not belong. We feel that we might not be secure in their regard and their reputation that they hold of us. We fear that they may reject us. We feel that they may see us as a failure, that all the labels. And when that fear becomes center of how we think, the defense response is to hide away and go small. And we see that in organizational life. It's a normal defense response to try and shrink in and not draw attention, but it denies us the potential of performance and encouragement and achievement. So that's, we learn and we can measure around that. And if we have fear, often that can travel to this green quadrant, which is we defend ourselves by putting a big alpha energy out there, a big ego presentation, which we do to try and feel okay and feel worthy and feel enough. However, its markers, it tends to emotionally distance us from each other. We do it because we want connection, but actually it denies us connection. We do it because we want appreciation and safety, but it denies us that. So it's understandable, but it affects our ability. And I just wanted to kind of give you a flavour of those ways of being and know that when you start to measure it and see it, it can be really, really helpful. But this can feel a bit theoretical. as a model. So I just want to illustrate on the next slide just some of the examples. When we're doing this work with a number of individuals and a number of organizations, we can see these different energetic states forming, and I'll just give a little flavor just to see if that resonates for you in terms of your own experiences of places of work that you sit in now. You can sometimes see in the measurements that you get that it's in a high generating state. There's a lot of humility, courage, love and respect infused in the organization, and everyone is in high generating states. This is wonderful when you can secure it. It's quite accurate, but it is quite hard to secure because it takes a lot of intentional leadership and constancy. But we do sometimes see it. We certainly see it in people's desires and hopes for the organisation, if not necessarily the practice. Another energy state when we see a lot of the defence of my ego and the fear is going rampant is that the energy state becomes, it's in high depletion, where you feel tired, where you feel drained at the end of a call, meeting, week, and it's hard to kind of bring your best energy and you're in defence mode. We do see this a fair bit, and it can surprise people when the measurement systems say, because it's a bit like being sort of anemic, you might not realise it's become your normal state and you haven't realised how depleted you feel. So we can learn about the state of depletion. Then another version that we can see in these reports is energy stasis, where everything sort of sits in the middle level. It's all kind of locked and loaded in a bit of, I'm kind of a bit above the line, I'm a bit effective, but I'm a bit ineffective, and it kind of nullifies itself, but it also kind of puts the organisation away in treacle. It can't lift itself out because it's become so stabilised in this kind of world of mediocrity. And again, that energy picture can be revealed from the measurement system. But the one I want to call out, because we are seeing it more and more in individuals, and we're seeing it more and more at team and organisational levels, which is there is no energy anywhere on the report because somebody is in bailout. We often saw it when people were just about nearing retirement and were sort of mentally exiting the world of work, but we're now seeing it way before the stages of retirement, and it's often a symptom of the high stress, the high demand, and the high state of exhaustion that has now become present, that people can't even bring defense responses to the world of work. So just wanted to talk these through to give you a flavor of what we can learn when we bring in a framework and a language and a sort of measurement system to help this growth work.